today I'm going to be running through how we kind of create strategies for small to medium-sized businesses to get started. Our main focus is SEO and social media, but I'm going to touch on all of the kind of areas to get you guys started. Okay, so I'm going to try getting as much as I can. Please, I'm going to be asking you questions, so please, if you want to answer those questions, you can jump off mute, or you can, let me just move that out of the way, or you can drop it into the chat and we will see your message there. So I see somebody's already
Thank you very much for answering.
Okay.
Thank you for answering my question.
No problem. I see Eugene has said what his business is. If anybody else wants to drop in what their business is as well, that would be great, and it'll really help us out as we're going along. So here's my little thing, right, guys? I use this all the time for when I'm creating strategies, and this is kind of all the areas you need to look at for your full digital roadmap. So the first thing we want to do is obviously research, and it's actually something a lot of people leave out because they have this amazing business idea and they think, okay, I'm going to sell Harry Potter inspired soaps, and everybody in the world's going to want them, everybody's going to need them, but they haven't done the research to see if somebody else is doing it, if there's anybody actually looking for it, who your competitors are, and if there's something unique that you can do that will make you stand out. So we're looking for that value proposition. What is it that's going to make us stand out within our digital marketing strategy? Then once you've done that research, and I'm going to go in a little bit more detail in the next few slides, showing you how to research who's looking for your product. And maybe what we might do as well is do a bit of research around one or two of your products as well. And we can do that live and see how many people are searching for them. So once you've done that, then you're going to analyze if you already have a social media platform, or if you have a website, email marketing, whatever it is you're doing, you're going to analyze that and your competitors. So within that, you want to look at your UX. So what that means is your user experience on the website. So I always start at the start. If you have a website, when people come across, like with social media or email marketing, any of that, your main thing is more than likely going to be send people over to your website to purchase a product, book in a service, download something, whatever it may be. Is your website friendly? So when people are landing on your website, are there call to actions that are going to inspire them? Are there call to actions in the right place? Is the website easy to navigate? Other stuff like that Facebook and other social media platforms find really important is that, you know, you've got a security certificate on it, that, you know, it is easy to navigate away from. So if somebody's leaving Facebook to come over to your page, is it easy for them to get out, or do they get stuck in it? I see some more chat coming in there, guys. Brilliant. Keep it up. So yeah, that user experience is so important. And how does it look? Is it easy to read? When you load a page, does the text shift around? All of that is one of the most important things before you start your strategy to make sure you get right. And once you have that done, you move on to using the research from the first one to look at those keywords and identify the content that you should have on the website. So not just the call to actions on your website, but the text that describes your service. So you want to make sure that you're describing your service in the right way, that is easy to understand for your core audience, but also has a lot of the keywords and the keyword groups within it that are going to help you rank on Google. Then once you have all of that in place, you move on to your content marketing, where you create your plan. And I'm going to show you how to do that really easily. And then you look at putting it on social media, and then you move on to looking at your paid ads. And with your paid ads, making sure that you have a clear objective in mind to match the goals that you set out at the very start when you started with your value proposition. So let's look at that. Okay, so does anyone even care? So sometimes you might, as I say, have an idea and think it's the best idea in the whole universe. So you go and you create a website and nobody comes to your website. You create an Instagram, nobody comes to talk to you at all. So when we're doing our research, you want to check if there's intent out there. So are people searching for your product or service already? If there's zero search volume for a unique product, then you're going to have to find a different way to market it. Because, and I'm going to show you an example now. I use tools like SEMRush, Google Trends, Answer the Public, to find out what people are searching for in different areas, and then go and search on Google itself to see if your competitors are selling that product. So here's just a quick example. So we have a client who comes along and says, okay, I have these amazing crystal crowns. I want to sell them in Ireland, and I want people to find me on Google. So we go and look off the keyword crystal crowns, and we can see there's 0 people in Ireland searching for that, and overall only 210, and most they're from Australia. So if we were focusing on the keyword crystal crowns, we wouldn't get anyone over to our website just for that keyword because nobody's looking for it. So we want to mix it up. So we want to think a little bit outside the box. So it might be a crystal crown, but why are people going to use them, and who is going to use them? So maybe there's a way to use a different keyword. So crystal headpiece could be used within those keywords. In Ireland, it's only 30 volume again, and that's per month. And then in globally, it's 690, which is getting a little bit better. If you wanted to put it in under crystal jewelry to get more and more people across, again, that's up to 590 in Ireland, which is very good. And then you could look at diverting and taking a slightly different avenue with it. So it depends on your audience. So is it crystal, as in the crystal that you're going to have for a wedding day as a tiara crown, or is it crystal that's going to heal you? And that's so popular right now. So is crystal healing going to be that popular thing? So it's looking out there and looking at your brand, what it is that you sell. If it's very unique, are people searching for it? If they're not searching for that, how can you market it in a way that's going to be interesting for people? Because it might be a case that people actually do want crystal healing crowns, but they don't know that they want them just yet because they've never heard of them before. So they haven't been searching for them. So once you find a kind of term that you think will work, you can then dig a little bit deeper, and tools like this one here, SEMRush, will show you all the different variations and also questions people are asking about those crystals and healing therapy. And you can see that there's some nice, easy things that you'll be able to start ranking for. So you could go and look at how to use crystals and talk about how you use your crystal crown to help with migraines, for example. Now, guys, this is all made up. Okay, I don't have anybody selling crystal crowns. Yes, this site is SEMRush. That's yeah. Perfect. Okay. So if you don't have access to SEMRush now, this probably shouldn't be on recording, but SEMRush is paid. But if you sign up with an email address, you get 7 days free. Just one email address. I'm sure people have more than one. So sometimes, you can pop in and out in different email addresses and use that for your research. And to be honest, you're only ever going to use it that one time to get that initial research.
Yes,
and then as you're someone have a question? Okay. Okay, so yeah, so you can try it that way. If you don't want to try that, you can look at something like Answer the Public. Now, Answer the Public is great because it tells you what people are searching for on Google in each of the different regions. So you can select it to be Ireland, UK, Canada, wherever. And it will give you lots of variations around what people are searching. So with this one, for example, we've got what healing crystals do I need? With this one here, crystal healing near me. And for crystal jewelry, we've got stuff like crystal jewelry to buy online. So with Answer the Public, you get 5 free searches a day, which is brilliant for small businesses starting out, and it can really help you narrow down what it is you're going to focus on and make sure that people are actually searching for those things. And then, as I say, just drop it into Google and see what's coming up around those. Now, does anybody want me to do a search for their business on SEMRush while we're here? Please let me know, and I can jump in. Like if you have a unique offering and you want to see if anybody's looking for it, please let me know. I can throw that into my SEMRush and see what comes up. Yes, please. Litter craft kits. Okay, you're the first one I saw. So let me stop sharing and open up my SEMRush. Okay, SEMRush. And you said letter. Let me go back there. I've lost my Zoom.
It was leather craft
kits. Okay. Perfect. Okay, and I'm going to share the screen now. It's just searching. Share. There we go. Perfect. So where are you based? Ireland. I'm going to put in Ireland for the first instance. So there's nobody in Ireland searching for that. Oh, London, East London. Okay, perfect. So we're going to go UK. I used to live in London. It's so awesome. Volume 210. So that's quite good. And it's saying that it's an easy keyword to rank for. So if you did some really good content around that, you could start ranking for that quite well. So it's got different variations. So this one here only has 90 search on it. So it's leather craft gifts for adults. That looks pretty epic. I'd go for that. So you can look at building that into the content on your website, or you can look at creating blogs about how leather craft gifts for adults help with stress or anxiety or something like that. Brilliant. Yeah, so I would look at that. Who else did we have there? Condiment sauces in South America. Okay, hold on. Furniture packs, Harriet. Harriet, where are you based? Furniture.
Harriet's in London as well.
All the London crew are here today. Okay, so there's a lot of search for that. And it's possible to rank for that one. It's not as easy as the letter one. But the kind of things you're going to come up against here, Harriet, are some of the really big ones like IKEA flat pack furniture. So when we have a keyword, it's not just that one word that impacts how well it will do. There's a whole cluster of other words around it. So like, for example, I wanted to rank for social media consultant. I had to rank for stuff around Facebook, around Twitter, around Pinterest, social media management, a load of things to work for that. And when it's something like this, and there's a lot of people out there, the big guys, who have flat pack furniture, which is linked to what they're calling furniture packs, it makes it a little bit harder for you. So I can do one more. Portuguese almond sweets. Ooh, that sounds nice. I'm hungry. Let me just find you. Where did you go? Portuguese almond sweets in Birmingham. I've never been to Birmingham. Oh gosh. Don't know what that put in there. G-U-E-S-E almond sweets. Okay. A-L-M-O-N-D. Let's see what we've got. Nothing coming up there because I put in two S's.
Yeah.
There you go. Ah, okay, no search for that at all. So if we just change it to almond sweets, 210 volume. And it's another easy one. So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes that one thing that you think is so unique for you is definitely so unique, but people aren't searching for it in your area. So it's about using the words that people are searching for, and then starting to make that search volume available for what you're actually doing and that unique thing you're doing. Okay, perfect. So that's as much as I'm going to do for you guys now, but do touch base with me at some other stage. But that's just an example of what you can do, right? So now that we know that, and I'm just going to share this with you guys again, back to this. So now that you know how that kind of works and the kind of things it shows up for you guys, I'm going to show you this result. Okay, so I started as head of digital with Feed Alpha around end of September, and we put in place a digital marketing strategy around starting with our keywords first, okay? And everything that we had started with the website, moved into our SEO, and then fed out to every other channel. And you can see here, this lovely little jump from the end of October all the way up to here is what happened with people visiting our website. So they're saying there's 8,291 organically. So that means they're typing into Google social media management or social media tips or social media content. And because we're coming up quite high on Google, they're finding us and they're visiting us. So we have 8,000 people who have intent to learn about social media or use a social media platform coming to our website. So if you turn your attention to starting from your website first, it can really help you with getting those people across who are 100% looking for what you offer. So that's all. Okay, so when we're looking at this, you're going to have to set your goals. So a million times you guys have heard this: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely or time bound. Okay, so when we're setting out our goal for increasing our SEO results and how many people are coming to our website, we said we want them to rank for, we named the word, we want to be able to measure it by using Google Analytics. It needs to be achievable, which it was, because we looked at the search volumes and what SEMRush said was achievable and what wasn't. And it needs to be relevant. There's no point in us picking a keyword like business management when actually we want to focus on social media management. So it's picking those right words that are relevant to the business, and that we would be able to do it within the time frame for when we were launching our next stage of our business developments. So always have those in mind. Okay, so once you have that in mind and you've found out your keywords, you've played around with those keywords, make sure the message that you're putting out with those blogs on your website always contains the same kind of tone. So whenever we're creating our strategies, we make sure we have a section within it which is that whether the business is professional, friendly, sarcastic, caring, loving, whatever it is, and what problems we really solve. And make sure if we have a spokesperson, that person is, the person who's coming up is writing the blogs, and that person is also involved in the sharing of that content. It's also good at this point to really make sure, and I know this has been covered a million times by everybody in the industry, but knowing who your audience is and really narrowing in on them. So what we identified was our audience were small business owners who maybe are struggling with learning about social media, or like simple things like how to connect your Instagram and your Facebook account. So we knew those were our target audience. We wanted to train them. We wanted to help them move on with their business and grow their business on social media. So we created our strategy based around their needs and wants and what platforms they were on. And then when we're looking at our competitors, we're looking to make sure that we know who our competitors are, where they're based, and what it is that they're offering that might be similar to us, and then how we can distinguish what we offer versus what they offer. Then we're going to set those objectives. So on your digital marketing strategy, what do you want to do? Do you want to build awareness of the brand? Is that all you want to do? You want more people to know who you are and what you offer? Is it that you want to manage your reputation? Do you want to get sales on your website? Because the kind of content that you're going to be creating versus the content that you're putting out for sales and awareness is going to be slightly different, because our awareness and our consideration versus our sales or conversion, what you need to do is make sure that you're giving a lot of value with your awareness and your consideration, so people aren't feeling like you're always trying to sell to them. And that's as true on your website as it is on your social media. How do you decide what to choose? That's a great question. So I choose all of them. Okay, so, and I'm going to talk you through that. I often want to do more than one. Yeah, no, 100%. So normally what I do when I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do, it really looks at the brand. So for myself as me, an individual on social media, when I'm putting out my content about me being a social media trainer or whatever, it's all based around awareness for the most part. So like 80% of that content will be about awareness of, this is some information for social media, here's a great blog you might like. And then the odd time I'll put out a post saying I'm doing a training session, versus say Feed Alpha, who is a scheduling platform as well as social media management. We will put out more of a 50-50 mix between our social media management packages, our scheduling tool, and providing value for people. So yes, it does depend on the brand. However, what I would say is always give more than you ask for. Okay, so I'm going to go through each of the different types of ones that we look at, and show you what that looks like when you're planning your content, and that might help you make that decision. But a little bit of all of those things is really important to keep your audience engaged. So your awareness is just light, simple things about your products and services, general information. It could be behind the scenes. It could be a blog on something new and upcoming within your industry. Consideration, it tells people about what it is that you're doing, but in a nice way. So as I said, I'll give you an example. One of the other lovely people I work with, they work with babies, and they will put out blogs about, regressions that happen within children. And those blogs will give them lots of information on how they can cope with regressions or how they can cope with behavior issues. But they'll also have a little hint to the fact that they have a service that can support them with that. So that consideration post that is going out really is supporting the audience. But it's not giving too much away from the business, and it's also hinting back that, yeah, look, we have this business. And then your conversion one that you're putting out, we wouldn't do those within blogs so much. That's more on your main website pages, and then within your posting on social media. With those promotions, we would be like very hard hitting, like, this is what I do, come and buy it now, put nicely. So we're going to look at creating that content plan for the whole of your digital marketing strategy. So what we want to look at is what you will create, what you will share, when you will share it, and where you will share it. I'm just seeing to yeah, that's up to Nicola. Nicola, will these be made available? Yeah.
Yeah, so I've just typed in there that, yeah, I'll forward on a copy of the recording following the session. But yeah, not so much the slides. I'm not sure, but yeah, we'll forward on a link to the recording following the session.
Okay, brilliant, no problem. I will, Princess, I will talk a little bit slower. Okay, I am the worst for talking fast when I get excited about social media. Okay, so we're looking at what you're going to do, what you're going to create, what you're going to share, when you share it, and where you share it. Okay, so when we're creating our content, we want to split it down into content your customer wants. So that's what you'll have from your research, content that's relevant to your business. And then with those crossed over, you're going to be able to have great inspiration for your content calendar. So with your content plan, we're going to create the long form content, which is the content that goes on to your blog. That's going to help with your SEO. The other way you can create long form content is if you do a podcast or you do a live with someone, you can use a tool like otter.io, and that will transcribe everything that's said. And then you can have that on your website, your podcast or your video, and directly underneath it, you can have the transcription of that. And that will really help with your SEO keywords as well. And it will help to build the content. Yes, it does. It works with you. It works with any videos. Sometimes when I'm talking to people and I'm talking too fast to take notes, I will have that running in the background, and it's recording what I'm saying and it's typing it out as I go. It's very, very useful. So have a look at doing that one. Then once you have that long content, you're going to repurpose it into your micro content. So that's creating short form videos from the pillar content. It could be memes, it could be quotes. And then obviously we want to look at creating reels, because reels are so great. And then stories on Instagram, because they are also great. SEO is search engine optimization. And that's how you are found on Google. I think I replied to the wrong person there. I meant to reply to everybody. It's otter.io, SEO, there we go. And that's how you're found on Google without having to spend any money, just by putting up blogs and good content. So then once you have that done, you then share it onto the right platform. So we're going on to the SEO now, and how that's optimized. Perfect. Okay, so SEO optimized. So using the previous research that you have, we're going to look at writing about what your potential customer is searching for. Okay, so we're going to include those keywords and cluster of keywords in the relevant in the blog around that topic. So with the images that we put into that blog as well, we're going to make sure that we named them correctly and that they're the right size. So they are optimized when we are, yes, a newsletter would. So they are optimized when you put out your blog, because Google will look for lots of different things like your heading, it will look at your images, it will look to see if you have any links within it that are linking out to other sources or linking back to your own site. On your website, if you have a tool like Rank Math, or what's the name of the other one? Something like an SEO optimizer tool. Rank Math is the one I use. I used to use other ones, but this is the one I'm in love with right now. And it really helps you understand if you've got all the things in place on your blog and even on your website to help you rank for a certain word. Okay, so for example, if we were looking to do stuff for crystal crowns, we would create blogs with the following headings. So crystal jewelry for healing, how to style a crystal headpiece, what crystals offer healing, and crystal wedding headpieces. So we create blogs around those keywords that we know people are searching for. And within those blogs, we would use clusters of keywords that would help us rank for the words that we want to sell. Okay, so we're going to plan ahead. Yeah, Otter.io was that transcriber tool. And I agree, whoever said that, local SEO was very cool. Google My Business is absolutely great resource. Perfect. So let's go back. So once we have that in place, we're going to plan ahead with the strategy. We're going to make time to plan the content. And that's probably one of the things that a lot of people don't do, or they do at the very start, myself included, that I will plan in the time, the first month. And then after that, I don't plan in time to create content. I just kind of do it willy-nilly. So make sure you create as much content as you can in one go. And then, you know, a lot of people will say, I don't know, you know, what to talk about. Just pop down ideas in your notes on your phone as you're going. If somebody asks you a question about your business, pop that down and take pictures throughout your day. So like when you're out and about, or you're at a meeting, or you're unpacking a new delivery, all of those things are great. And then schedule your posts. Scheduling will save you a lot of time, believe me. So once you have all your ideas, I use a content calendar very similar to this. And what I do, especially if there are other people that want to be involved in the process, is I'll put down the date I want the post to go out. I'll write down the theme, so it might be tips and trends. I'll pop in a caption that I want. Now that's not set in stone, it's just something that's come up at that time. A visual description. So if it's going to be a picture, if it's going to be a blog, is it going to be a video, format, and then what platform is it going on? So is it going onto a social media platform? Is it going onto my website? Is it going on MailChimp? So if we have them planned out like this, at a quick glance, every month you can say, okay, I need to make 5 videos. I am going to be posting 2 blogs. I'm going to be posting to Instagram every 3rd day, anything like that. So pop on to the next one. So this is how it looks then when it's all pulled together. So as I said at the start, when I showed you the SEO results that went up for us with Feed Alpha, here's how we did it with that digital strategy. We created a blog section, which has lots of social media ideas for small businesses. And we broke it down into lots of different areas. So, you know, for daycares, hotels, gyms, all of the above. And we knew people were searching for that, and we knew that would bring more people across to first of all, help them, but also to have them coming over to our website. We took that and we put that into other areas. We did it on social media, and we did email drops as well. So you can see here, we broke it down into small little tips. We took some quotes out of it. We made some reels. We made lots of stories. We love stories. Our audience is definitely over on stories, and we find it a great way to get that engagement with them and get them to talk back to us. And then within that, using that as our basis, we then looked at creating product promotions that went alongside it that would talk to that same audience. So what was happening with our tool and what other things we're offering. So obviously when people are looking for content ideas, people often get stuck. So one of the things that we've created, which I use every single day religiously, is a calendar that has all of the interesting days of the year. So whether it be, you know, bring your dog to work day, or, you know, eat pizza day, they can all relate back to different businesses. So while the dog one would work for me, maybe a restaurant might be able to do a special offer based around the fact that it's Eat Pizza Day, which it should be every day. My mouse has got stuck. There we go. And then again, based around the content, we talked about the part of our tool which gives people content every single day. We did lots of those, and how it would benefit people. So it's taking all of that and bringing that information to people within that strategy. And then we add a little spice. So within that, then we might put up pictures of dogs, because I love dogs. We might put up some memes that reflect back again on what people want to know and the whole strategy. So again, the strategy for us was around helping people get content for their social media. And one of the things people are always saying is, how do I get loads of followers? So bringing in funny memes around that really worked for us. Again, reels, nice fun reels using I can, because I've got a personal account, use all of the sounds, but for the business account we use some of the other sounds. But jumping on trends is a really nice way to bring it back to what you're doing. And again, more dogs, because more dogs, who loves dogs? So once you have all that done, you're going to review it. What's Harriet saying? For Google Analytics, should you put your website on Insta stories? Yeah, so Harriet, really good question. I really like tools like Linktree over on Instagram. And the reason I like it, look, ideally, I would like to have a page on my website that was continuously updating with all the different links to my blogs, to my services, all of that. But that's not always possible. We don't always have the time to go in and rebuild our web pages to match that. But stuff like Linktree is brilliant, because you can just jump in and it's like 2 seconds to change around that link. So I use that, and just remember on Google Analytics, if you are using something like Linktree, sometimes it comes up as referral rather than as coming from Instagram. So it might look like I don't have anybody coming from my Instagram stories, but just jump into referrals and you'll see it there as Linktree. Princess Sparkle Pants. Oh my God, there's so many platforms. How does one do it all? Okay, with your strategy, okay, look, everything that I've touched on there is like, it does sound like a lot. Like I haven't even touched on Pinterest. I haven't touched really on what you should be doing with your email marketing, because there's just not enough hours in the day. What I would say to you is use the platform that you think your main audience is on. And with that audience, focus on those. So for example, if you know your audience is on Instagram, if they're women between a certain age, focus on that platform, build that till you feel comfortable, and then move on to the next one. Okay.
I have a question for you. So
Yeah.
is there a way like using Survey Monkey or something to do a survey to see which platform they like better? Can we just ask people?
You can do that, but there are also lots of stats out there will tell you your country. So you're in Canada, so you can go look and see what are people using as their social media platform in Canada, and it'll break it down with what those demographics are.
Just type that into Google?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay.
Google is like, oh my God, it's my savior.
Cool.
So yeah, I would do that. Normally, you know, you're looking at the things like TikTok and all these popular ones that are coming out now. Those are younger audiences, but they're starting to kind of, you know, get an older audience alongside it. If your audience is like women, I'd say in between the age of 35 and 49, you're going to have a really great opportunity to get them over on Instagram at the minute. So it's a really nice one to go to. Yeah, you could do that as well, Vincent. I don't touch that kind of stuff. That's more for the Gary. It's more for him. Okay, perfect. So then, guys, once you have all of that in place, you're going to review. And the things I want you to look at with regards to your, sorry, that didn't move. With regards to your stats is the social media platform you're on right? Okay, so that's what was being asked. There's a really good one, like, you know, can you do a survey monkey to see where people are? You can, but you're also able to go and look at what you have. So you might think, okay, I've gone to check Google and I've looked to see where people are within my target audience spending their time, and I see they're on Instagram. So I'm now on Instagram and I'm putting out lots of content. And what you might see is the people who are engaging with your content on Instagram are actually a completely different age group than your target audience. So you need to review that and make sure you've got the right audience there that is following you. It might be a case that the content you're putting out is more attractive to a younger audience or sometimes an older audience. You might need to tweak your content slightly and review who it is you're engaging with and who it is you are following. Look for the metrics that match your objective. So if your objective in the first instance was just to get brand awareness, then having more followers and having more people engage with you and a good reach is very good. If your objectives were to get conversions or getting people signing up for your newsletter or something, then your key metrics that you're looking for is visits to your website, downloads, lead generation. And then looking at what type of posts get the most engagement. So is there a blog that's getting loads of people coming across to it? Maybe you can do a spin-off blog from that one. Is there a video format doing better for you on Instagram than your actual static post? Maybe it's a case that you need to add more videos in. And then what actions are people taking on your content? Are they straight away just clicking through to go to your website, or are they liking or commenting within your content? All of that shows people's intent to engage with you, whether it be for awareness or conversion.